Welcome back. I feel very cozy holding this pillow. I think I should have a pillow more often. Welcome back. It's the spring housing season when it comes to the latest trends and styles. There's only one couple we turn to. Please welcome back to the show, on set, Brad and Heather Fox from Fox Homes and Foxwell in Edina. Welcome back, guys.
We're here in person.
No more
It
Zoom.
feels good.
No more Zoom delay.
Face
to face.
I
How you guys
love
doing?
it. I like you holding this pillow.
Thank
by
you,
the
I do
way.
too.
That is really nice.
Fun fact, my family calls it a whoopee. I always like to have, like when I'm snuggling up, I have a blanket or a coat or something. Yeah.
There you go.
I like
This
it.
is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. We have some props here.
We
We're
do.
gonna go through. Brad's basically gonna do nothing in this segment. Now he'll be busy in the next one, but right now, let's talk about plants and greenery. Still hot.
Still hot. It's crazy. You know, everybody said like, oh, this new plant thing is a trend. It's not. It's here to stay. It's kind of like the instant way to just like make your space feel a little bit more springy. And the fun thing is now, you can have that plant, but then you can totally update it, change the look by changing your pot, right? So you can have whatever color you're kind of going for. If you want to add a little bit of blush, a little bit of green, whatever it happens to be, you can add a little bit of color with that pot or texture.
I thought, I didn't know if it was going to be a long-term trend, but when the 20-somethings still love, like
Still love it.
I have people in my galaxy that are in their 20s or 30s. That's what they spend their disposable income on, plants.
I know. They call them plant parents, right? It's like their babies.
That
They
wasn't
love these
for
things.
us. I mean, we're about the same. I mean, I'm a little older.
No.
It wasn't a big deal for us.
No,
we
not at
weren't
all.
plant people.
In fact, that was like what your grandma did, right?
Yes.
And now it's like, I mean, we have a ton of plants. It's it just adds so much life to your space.
Texture.
Texture is huge this season. So just about everything you see has this ribbing, like on this vase and on this candle, everywhere. You're going to see that in cabinetry. You're going to see it in candles and vases. I mean, really everything, even pillows.
Even like this.
Yeah.
Well, and here's a great example behind her. This used to be this was from Target a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
This the clean lines and just the blank, the smooth surface. That's out.
Yeah.
As I hit that. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So texture and everything.
Texture and everything.
You said in cabinets? How?
Cabinets. So inside, like door frames, there's like reeded cabinets. We're doing a lot of caning. Really cool textures. It's crazy. There's
Screen
so
walls.
many options.
Screen
Screen
walls.
walls. Yeah.
Okay, but can I ask you something with that? Okay. With the cabinets, because they're a permanent, you know what I'm going to ask, they're a permanent fixture. How trendy should you really go?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like a few years ago, trends, you know, we talked about trends in such a way like they were going to come and go. I think now we're really seeing things it's kind of like do what you love. Like it's less trends, right? If you really love it and you feel confident that it's going to be something you love longer term, go for it.
Okay. You briefly mentioned this, but every season, every couple years are big colors.
Yeah.
What's hot right now?
Okay, crazy. It's amazing how many pastels are out there, right? Like we've been seeing blush for years now. That is going to stay. It's not going to go away. In fact, it's almost become like a neutral where it's in decor, on walls, kind of all over the place. But now we're starting to see these pretty greens like this. A lot of purple, and I'm sorry I don't have any lavender up here, but that's the color of the year. Lavender, and
well, our
it's
set has
everywhere.
a lot of purple everywhere.
Yes,
so
yeah. So in decor, even in like paint on walls and cabinetry backsplashes, we are currently doing with the client a purple backsplash, like a light lavender. It's going to be incredible. I'll send you pics when it's done.
Yeah. Okay, now are the pastels, because again, age reference, I remember when pastels were hot, Miami Vice forward because of Miami. Is it the same kind of pastels as the 80s?
I mean, kind of, just done in a different way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the Miami Vice.
And I think that's why for me too, it's like, you know, I used to be young and hip and now I'm getting old, still trying to stay semi-hip, but it's funny to see these like trends that we had when we were kids now come back, like the clothing too, the 90s clothing. I'm like, I wore all of that. And I feel like I don't know if I should do it again. I don't know. But
somebody said, if you do it once, don't do it again. I heard that, but I don't know if that. Okay, let's talk about remodeling trends. You mentioned this, other than ribbing and cabinetry, what else are you seeing in cabinetry?
So a lot of caning.
Okay. What's caning?
It's like the, it's almost like a boho texture.
Okay.
I don't know how,
feel.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Liquid
a lot of wood.
ton, a lot of
wood. Every
Yeah.
new builder now is doing wood. Everything was white and grays. Now it's all wood.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
back?
It's back.
Does it matter? Okay, because does it matter what kind of wood? Because in like it does.
Kind of,
so, yeah.
kind of, yes. But for a while, everything was like that honey oak color in
Yes.
the 90s.
Oh God. Every house in the 90s had the honey oak.
Everything.
Yeah.
We're seeing oak come back, but just kind of in a lighter way. A lot of really dark oak too, but the honey oak, I would say that's kind of gone.
But like a white oak, like a real natural light. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that helps with the trend, because if you're going with like wood and steel and natural elements, those are a little less trendy, right? Because they come and go, but you're safer with wood cabinets because eventually, although those early 2000s dark cherry cabinets maybe aren't aging well.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to. In your opinion of things that is dark cherry probably on the top as far as cabinets aging wise?
Yeah, I would say what the hard part is that they made all of these other woods try to look like cherry, which then they just ended up kind of looking like really dark red.
Yeah.
When you take like a maple and put a cherry stain, it just looks like a red cabinet. I have bad memories of all of those from the early.
You sold a lot of houses with the
dark cherry.
I did.
What is these? If somebody's watching now, I know it's depending on taste and style and budget, but if someone's sitting with a dark cherry cabinet right now, what's the easiest thing and economical thing for them to do with that?
Paint it.
Really?
Yeah,
yes,
enamel it.
paint it. Yep. I would say don't try to do it yourself unless you have experience painting.
Okay.
I think that it's better to hire that out, but paint will change it all.
Yep.
And don't be afraid, because I know people, they treat wood as sacred, and it is, but sometimes it's like, okay, it's okay to paint if it's ugly wood.
But
And
we're also
it's-
not talking about like rich, woodwork in a house that's 100 years old and
Totally.
historic. We're not talking
Absolutely.
about that. We're talking about 2000s
Yep.
production home, fine, easily painted, in my opinion.
Don't have wood guilt.
Yeah.
More with Brad and Heather when we come back. Back in a moment. Wood guilt. Welcome back. We're here with Brad and Heather Fox from Fox Homes. Okay, before we get to real estate, because that's a hot topic for a variety of reasons. One more thing, Ted, let's put up some pictures. You mentioned backsplashes earlier.
Yeah.
Talk to us about these photos. What are some trends here?
Yeah, okay, so talking about how trends are kind of a thing of the past a little bit. People are just really doing what they love, right? Like, of course you're still seeing it, but it's like whatever you love, do it. This is an example of that, right? It's not for everyone, a rainbow backsplash, but I'll tell you what, this has gotten more comments and love than anything else we've done because it's so
Really?
unique.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so just having a little bit of color, pattern, these curves, I would say that is something that is kind of trending right now too, all of these curves over doorways and in walkways, lots of within cabinetry too.
Is that wallpaper, Heather, or
It
what
is,
is that?
it's wallpaper, yeah.
I have a friend who added just a touch. She had a little wall like that with wallpaper. And is wallpaper back, by the way?
Wallpaper is back, yes.
Really?
And it is here, I think, for the long haul. I mean, it is a bazillion options now. Here's another option or example of a curve. This was an old closet, and we chose to put a little bar in there and just.
That was a closet?
It was, yeah. So just
Bifold
curved
doors.
the top, took the doors off, and created a fun little space.
That is awesome,
Isn't
guys.
that fun?
I love that. So anything goes with backsplashes. Let's move to real estate. It's hard to buy a house. I don't need to tell you that.
Well, see you later.
Yeah, see, that's the end of the segment. Give it up for Brad and Heather Fox, everybody. Yeah.
Yep, it's tricky.
Let's go over some things that hopefully can be patient.
Yes.
Be patient. I think but I'd say almost like be prepared first is almost more important though.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so if you're more prepared, hopefully you can be more effective, right? So definitely be patient because you're going to lose some houses. But I would like to try to get buyers to be able to not lose so many houses, because we say in the office like, oh, I lost this one for this new buyer. I'm like, oh, we got to shave off a few before, but like, well, let's try to get around that. Let's not try to miss 8 houses before we finally get one. Being on the prepared side, the lending side is key. Like, you've got to be ready to go into battle when you go into that open house or you go into that showing. You have to know exactly what you can spend. It's probably above list. You're probably going to relinquish your inspection. So let's prepare for that and be smart about that. You're probably going to have to when you go above list, you're probably going to have to cover that difference for the appraisal. So say it appraises at list price, but you made an offer that's $50,000 higher, you're going to maybe have to back that up or back up a portion of that.
And you said also in the list that you gave the producers, and I know this seems obvious, but have a good team behind you.
Right.
Specifically, what do you mean?
I think that's the key, is a really good lender that's ready to go, that will pick up the phone when that listing agent calls to verify that the buyer is ready to go. That's key. So you've got to have a really engaged lender. You've got to have an agent that knows how to write these offers in a really crafted way, because it's really tricky right now. You got to get really creative. And you've got to be able to, like I said, we're going to maybe get rid of that inspection. So maybe having an agent that understands houses, not that they're going to be able to do an inspection in 20 minutes in the house, but for our company, we've got a bunch of agents, and then they got, I come out to a lot of houses and check things out, or try to get an inspector maybe that'll come meet you there for half an hour and just get some sort of eyes on it. It's interesting out there for sure.
And I love what the producers wrote on here, as far as, I know this seems like duh or not important in a business aspect, but you wrote, make sure you like the people you're dealing with, because you're going to be with them a lot. And I was thinking about my mother when she bought her townhouse. She was with an agent that just was so kind to her and drove her around, and now they're friends. They would go to Dairy Queen together. I mean, that's important.
Well, absolutely. The way we say it is, we don't sell. We're not selling, we're helping. Right? It should be that relationship. The agent should be there to help you go through this crazy journey of buying a home right now. So definitely find an agent that you're going to want to spend time with, because you're going to literally be in the trenches with them, and you're going to highs and lows. And
it's an emotional thing too, So it's the amount of people we've had cry in front of us and fight in front of us, and we get I think anybody who's in this industry gets it. It's so much money. It's your life, right? It's where you live and where your family is. And
so the patience is key, because you got to just be ready to
pack your patience, people. Brad and Heather, for more information, go to foxhomes.com. And don't forget, visit their store. Y'all go, especially if you're watching this from other cities, when you come here, visit their store, thefoxwell.com, for more. We're going to take a break. Leslie Miller, when we come back, from houses to wine. So she'll tell you what wine to put in the house. Thank you, guys.